Hello, everybody. Today, trade count for January 30th, 2026. And today I took three trades. So, more trades than I usually take, right? I usually only take one trade, right? If I win, then two trades, right? If I take a loss, then want to the second setup looks a little bit better, right? So, always take 1 to 2 trades a day, right? But today was a little bit different because today was a Friday. So, today was lotto size. So, the losses are kind of small. And if the QQ Inspire is setting up for a bigger move or a name relative strength is setting up for a bigger move, then I can, get back into the name, right? With a good risk. So, that's pretty much what happened today. So, today was supposed to be a red day on Amazon and Palantir, right? Everything was also called out on the server. Very unfortunate wins. I mean unfortunate losses, right? So took a loss on Amazon, right? Pretty much off this pre-market high, strong price action. Wanted to see us kind of go to previously highs, but QQ Inspire is too weak for this name to kind of push up aggressively. We did eventually push up on Amazon with relative strength, but not as strong as I wanted to. Palantir, I saw his name a relative weakness on the higher time frame and also intraday, but unfortunately QQ Inspire just chopping around this name just didn't have the move I wanted to, right? Pretty much wanted to kind of see us push below his pre-market lows. So the good thing about these two trades is the risk was pretty manageable, right? Especially this Palantir trade, right? Risk is less than 5-10%, which is on a Friday is really good, right? Usually on a Friday, your risk is actually a little bit bigger, like 20-30% losses because the contracts are on 0 days. So yeah, so just all about managing risk on Fridays. If you're a beginner trader, you should not be trading Fridays at all. You should actually be trading next week contracts. Honestly, I recommend you don't trade Friday at all. If you do trade Friday, always trade small size, right? And trying to capture those bigger wins like today I did, right? So this was normal size, and I only captured that Tesla trade. Then this would be like a two, three, four, $5,000 day. But today's a Friday, so I had a size smaller and manage my risk a little bit better. So let's get right into the video. So I will talk about the first trade I took today, right? So Amazon took a loss on this name. Pretty much was looking at QQ and Spy, and let me whip up this. So Amazon. This was the first trade I took today. So we can see it's Amazon higher time frame is consolidating now, right? This name looks pretty trash. I'm probably not gonna trade his name until we kind of go above this 244 level. Then I can kind of see his name kind of show some momentum. But otherwise, I'm not trying to look to trade his name anymore. So yeah, so all as usual, right? QQ and SPY just absolutely nothing, right? We kind of see reject this pre-market highs, become above it, just came back below, showing that nothing, no decent price action. Same on SPY, just choppy, right? Choppy on QQ, choppy on SPY. Today is a Friday, so no one's expecting anything really crazy on the indices, so just chop today, chop today. We kind of have a downside move later in the day, but still not good price action for New York Open, right? So on Amazon, I kind of took this trade a little bit quickly, right? Because we didn't know for sure that we're gonna be choppy or not on QQ and SPY. Think about it. At this, we're kind of breaking above our high day on both QQ and SPY, and Amazon is also kind of showing strength by being above our pre-market highs, while QQ and SPY are struggling above our pre-market highs. So this name kind of looked decent. Had this nice pullback on this pre-market high. So enter calls at this candle. Stop loss simply just below. Like I just want to see us continue. So below 241, right? I want to see us kind of hold, just continue for momentum, right? I don't really want to see us come back down again for this pre-market high retest because we already showed a strong price action at this pre-market high plus fair value gap. So we already showed that there are buyers at this name, right? We just want to see now it pick up and show relative strength. But unfortunately, we kind of came back up, rejected this key level, which is our previous day close, right? You can see his level kind of is an area of strong buying and selling, right? Reject this area, then closed above it with strong price action, came back below, showed wicked here, and then close above it. So you can see these levels are very important to kind of understand. And when we're in a trade, we want to see us closing above these levels, right? We don't want to see us wick of these from these levels because then the trade doesn't look as good, right? So because we wicked from this trade, right, we had a strong rejection on QQ and SPY, so this trade ended up failing. So this trade was an unfortunate L, but not that big of a deal, right? You want to just manage your risk. So this trade, I think I lost 25% or so, like that sounds like a bigger loss, but it's a Friday, so that wasn't that bad of a loss. So next trade I took was on Palantir. So Palantir, this was a pretty not nothing too crazy, right? So higher time frame on Palantir was bearish, right? We see this name is bearish on the higher time frame, right? Very bearish time very bearish on the higher time frame. So just wanted to see his name kind of just show weakness and just continue to the downside. Unfortunately, right, we didn't never really got that we never really got that clean move. We're kind of consolidating, still bearish, but we're just like now choppy with QQ and SPY. But simply just wanted to kind of take these puts underneath the previous day low level, wait for a little bit of confirmation, right? After I saw this wick, enter puts at this candle. Kind of want to see us instantly come back down, close below these lows, and kind of make new lows. But we just came back up and closed above this previous day high. So very small loss. Kind of want to see us push down, show that continuation on this name. And at this area, QQ and SPY at low of day. So QQ and SPY you see are at low of day, and this name is also at low of day and also weak on the higher time frame. So kind of want to see this coupled with the QQ and SPY break low of day together and kind of show that downtrend. But we just ended up reversing on this name. So I got stopped out very quickly. So another small loss on this. So that was the two losses I took pretty close to each other back to back. So this was going to be technically my first red day of the month, right? But then I took my last trade on Tesla a little bit later in the day, right? Usually I trade around 8:30 to 9:15, I would say, but this trade was a little bit after that, right? Around 9:15, so a little bit after 9:15. So what I see on this name, right? So QQ and Spy were just absolutely chopping around, right? Names were just all chopping. The only names that kind of were showing decent strength were Amazon, right? Because we were making high highs and higher lows. A little bit deeper pullbacks, but we're still making higher highs and higher lows. Until we swept these highs up here. But Tesla was kind of showing strong price action, right? This unusual these strong candles are very unusual, right? We can see this fair value gap formed, and this fair value gap forms with my indicator with strong volume. So this shows that there's a strong volume on this name plus fair value gap. So we had a nice rejection of this high of day. But what happens is how we come back if we reclaim this level, right? So I was looking to see if we maybe had strong price action at this order block. I could entry right here, but we didn't. We just came back down, came back below, and then I saw as we kind of show strong price action bouncing off this, I think previous pre-market high, yeah, pre-market high plus this fair value gap level, right? So fair value gap plus pre-market high, right? So very good. Plus is 428. So we kind of have three confluences stacked up together. We're trying to see his name showing strength, bouncing off this fair value gap plus pre-market high, right? Because if you can kind of show we're bouncing off pre-market high, then we're kind of looking good intraday. Man, why is Leadify exposing me? Okay, anyways, so kind of showed nice strong price action right here. So I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe I can take his name, seeing that we kind of bounce off this pre-market high. I want to see this consolidate and then break to the upside. Right, this name showed relative strength. So after I saw us kind of reclaim this 430 after we rejected not once, not twice, but three times, this candle after we close above it, enter calls right here. And I can post my stop loss simply below this 430 level, right? So candle close below this 430 level. I just don't want to see us come back down. So after we close above this 430 level, the stop loss is not going to be below 430 because now we already kind of consolidated, came back below, retested, and counter showing now showing bullish price action to the upside. So like this is, I know like if you're a beginner, it's kind of going to be complicated and it's kind of hard to understand, but this is how trading is, right? This is you can this people that's there's no simple way of teaching trading because the simple way is not how you actually trade, right? You can teach break and retest this and that, like and maybe you can build up brick by brick over time, right? But for these trade recaps, I'm telling you what I saw and how like I kind of took these trades, right? So if you can kind of understand a little bit like the market structure and how entry trades, then you will literally save like so much time because this is how you actually trade and make money in the markets. No, there's no other way. I'm not joking. I spent too much time in the markets to like to not be right, So trend is always your friend, right? That is the best slogan known to mankind. Always play with the trend. You never want to play reversals unless it's like a liquidity sweep at a key level. Then you can kind of trade those levels, right? These key levels got hit and we reversed, but like there's no these I just don't like trading these in my opinion, right? Because the options you want the timing, you need to get the timing and momentum right. So it's pretty hard to get the momentum right on these reversals because sometimes you don't get the momentum on these reversals. Of course, here we get a nice momentum, we got nice momentum, but sometimes we get these sweeps and we just like consolidate at that level and we don't get the nice reversal. So that's why I don't trade reversals. So yeah, so enter the calls on Tesla, right? Even alerted it. Where did I do that? Right. Only take a trade once we break this range. Otherwise, I'm just donating money. Tesla calls on watch. Want to see price action, right? Kind of saw the break half day. Want to see the reaction. We came back, retested this 428 plus pre-market high level. I'm still watching Tesla SPY at high day. I want to see continuation now. Tesla setting up. Here's one confirmation from SPY. And Tesla calls, right? Stop loss below 430. Nice, and then just showing very strong price action, right? These are Friday, so the contracts were moving insane, and we had a little $5 move in like less than 10 minutes, and so absolutely insane. And then so yeah, so kind of showing that my breakdown, kind of how I trade and how real traders trade. And I spent a lot of money on courses and education over my like trading career. So like you guys can get a lot of information just from me, just from these videos itself, because these videos are free, right? All the information I learned, I paid thousands of dollars for because I bought courses that are $3,000, multiple of them, right, to learn how to trade. Like like half of them are useless. I cannot lie, but there are a couple that did really help me a lot, and I kind of took took a little bit of knowledge from one course, took a little knowledge from another course, right, and kind of understood my own edge after like taking a little bit from other people, right. So after you like take a little bit from other people, you kind of can make your own strategy and your own edge because you'll never be profitable copying someone else because everyone else has their own discretion, their own edge. Like that's what people don't understand. You'll never be profitable copying someone because you'll never understand why they really trade and how to manage a risk at their level, right? Everyone know, like okay, I don't even know. I'm just talking too much. But yeah, so bro, I feel like I dropped way too much like information for like how like underrated I am. Like I only have like 140 subscribers. I'm dropping like literal gold. that I don't see anyone else making these types of videos and talking about things like these. Like I've watched some like bigger options traders like recaps, and they're so dog shit. And maybe I'm just being biased by myself here, but like I feel like something isn't up with like when they explain their trades. Like they're not explaining everything. But anyways, so yeah, Tesla holding a market structure. I can see it bouncing off our order blocks perfectly, right? Holding market structure, consolidating. So Tesla is looking a little bit good, right? Tesla is a name, right, that will always be like one of my favorites to play just because of the price action it has daily. It has very big moves. Its ADR, which is I think the average daily range, is very big compared to other names because Tesla's just a go-to name. What can I say, right? So, um, yeah. So next week, will be a new month, so we'll absolutely look to kill it. I don't know if I'm gonna size up next month. I'm just really cautious right now because of new contracts that came out. So I'm gonna look to see if what's happening there because like the problem about 0 day contracts is that are very, very volatile, right? You get the move wrong, you're down 20, 30%, even if your risk is kind of small, like even your risk reward is really small. But like on like a normal like contract, like a normal like weekly contract, right? Your risk is like less than like 15%. But on like a Friday one, your risk is 30%, which is a very, very, very big difference. And sometimes your risk can be less than 10% on those weekly contracts. But on Friday, your risk to be less than 5%, you have to have an insane fucking entry. So yeah, I'll see what happens next week, right? As traders, you have to adapt. And if you're struggling on like wondering how you adapt, if I am I built for this, right? You take once you take so many trades and you just look at the chart for so many hours, all your doubts just get to fade away because then you have experience under your belt. It's like starting a job for the very first time and kind of being nervous of like, can I do this? Can I do this? But like after you do it for so long, like it just becomes like nature to you, right? Because we're humans and we learn. Of course, we can make mistakes and we can kind of be impulsive sometimes, but I'm telling you, even with that impulsiveness, you still can make money in the markets if you can understand the bigger picture, right? Because these moves, there's just too much money in these moves not to get a little piece of it, if that makes sense. So yeah, 12-minute long recap. And I don't even know what I'm gonna title this video. But yeah, so insane month, right? 100% win rate. You know, I don't know if I can do this good next month, right? Next, I don't know, right? But hopefully, I next month, right? My win rate, I try going for above an 8% win rate, right? But the 100% win rate was a type of kind of goal of mine because I've gotten close to it multiple times, but I just choked, right? I was about to choke today. Like I literally was so depressed. I wasn't like depressed, but like I was like kind of bummed out, right? Look, to be completely honest, I choked 100% green month today after those two L's. So like I was low-key depressed. I wasn't depressed, but like I was like, damn, the very last day of the month is gonna be red. Like, fuck. So yeah, so that's trade cap. If you guys got any information or knowledge out of this, please subscribe, please like and comment down below so the algorithm can kind of push my video out. And don't forget to join Discord down below. Right, it's free. I'll answer any questions you guys have. And yeah, peace.